3, 2, 1.
Boom! And welcome to Today, brought to you by Boss Shot Shells. Check them out at bossshotshells.com. Come by and see us at Delta in Oklahoma City or be at Ducks Expo in Memphis, where we'll be doing our 1,000th episode giveaway. Check us out on my Instagram, jstanfield68. Has got all the information on how to sign up to win that giveaway. It's an amazing giveaway, hunts, all kinds of cool gear. And I'm with the world famous Andy Shaver.
Today is July 17th, and today is my day. I'm telling you what, I've got so much. Just the Today gods are they're all over me right now.
So you had a good day then?
I had a great day. I had a really great day.
It's like Christmas when we open it up to see that day if it's anything good.
Oh, please just let there be something to talk about. All right, I'm going to start with my event today. 1955. You got to go back to
Xerox copy machines.
Nope. Okay. Nope. July 17th, 1955. The bane of our existence starts.
It's not the internet.
No. Not anything like that. So
bane of our existence starts.
This costs $17 million, and it sprawls over 160 acres in Anaheim, California.
Oh, Disneyland.
Disneyland opens up.
Been there one time. Never go back.
Never been there before. So I did not realize that Disneyland opened up before Disney World.
I did not know that either. I would have lost a lot of money on that.
I always thought it was Disney World, but that makes sense because Walt Disney never did stay in that castle that they built in Florida.
He died before then, kind of like the boat castle.
Right. So Disneyland, Walt Disney's metropolis of nostalgia, fantasy, and futurism, opened today. Cost $17 million, and it was built on 160 acres of former orange groves in Anaheim, California, and soon brought in staggering profits. Today, Disneyland hosts more than 18 million visitors per year, and those 18 million visitors spend close to $3 billion annually at the Disneyland theme park.
I can believe all of that. I actually figure $3 billion would be about $6 billion because it's the most expensive place on earth.
So in 1928, Walt Disney has a short film, Steamboat Willie.
Have seen it.
Starring Mickey Mouse, and takes the nation over by storm. It was the first animated film to use sound, and Disney provided the voice for Mickey. From there on, Disney cartoons were in heavy demand, but the company struggled financially because of Disney's insistence on ever-improving artistic and technical quality. His first feature film-length cartoon, do you know what that is?
God dang, we just got back from Disney too. His first feature-length cartoon is going to be something with him and Minnie and Donald.
Nope.
And it's not. I would have guessed Steamboat Willie was the first one because that's the only one I guess I know. Fantasia.
Nope. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Took 3 years to complete.
I was way off. I was not. Yeah, I would have not guessed Snow White. So Snow White was the first one?
Snow White was the very first one. He followed that up with Pinocchio in 1940, Dumbo in 1941, Bambi in 1942, and then he had Fantasia in 1940. Was the same year as Pinocchio. In the early 50s, Walt Disney began designing a huge
Pinocchio was done when?
1940.
Wow. That is crazy that thing was done. That was 90 years ago almost.
Yeah.
Son of a gun.
Yeah. And 2 years from 90 years old. He began designing the amusement park to be built near Los Angeles. He intended Disneyland to have educational as well as amusement value and to entertain adults and their children. Land was bought in the farming community of Anaheim, about 25 miles southeast of LA. And construction began in 1954. In the summer of 1955, special invitations were sent out. Now, here's the problem.
I'm listening.
It became counterfeit.
And back then, it wasn't easy to distinguish like you can now.
So they counterfeit the special invitations, and the park is flooded with people that they did not expect, did not plan for. They quickly ran out of food and drinks, and a woman high heel got stuck in the wet asphalt on Main Street, USA. And the Mark Twain steamboat nearly capsized because of too many passengers. They would soon recover, once they kind of worked out all the kinks. Attractions such as Castle, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Snow White's Adventure, Space Station, X-1, Jungle Cruise, and Stagecoach drew countless children and their parents. Special events and continual building of new state-of-the-art attractions encouraged them to visit again. Then in 1965, work began on an even bigger theme park, which is Disney World. Walt Disney dies in 66, and Walt Disney World opens October 1, 1971. So he never did get to see Disney World become what it is today. So that is my event that happened today. My guy that died today, he won numerous honors, including 2 Peabody Awards, a George Polk Award, an Emmy Award, and the Presidential Medal of Freedom. He died in 2009. But he was born in 1916. He was an old man when he died.
He won the Peabody?
Yep.
Did you tell me he won a Pulitzer?
No, Emmy.
An Emmy.
He won an Emmy and the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Give me a little bit of a hint.
He started his career as a radio announcer in Oklahoma City for WKY.
Wasn't Will Rogers. God almighty.
He went on to work as a sports announcer in Kansas City, Missouri. And then he makes...
Vin Scully.
No.
God almighty.
During his time on the radio, a big network offers him a position.
It's not Harry Carey. God dang, I'm lost, but it's Vin Scully. It's not Vin Scully.
Mm-mm.
I'm assuming he's a football or a baseball announcer.
Nope. He gets CBS News gets him.
Walter Cronkite.
Walter Cronkite.
That's the way it was.
Walter Cronkite.
I didn't know he was an Oklahoma boy.
I don't know if he is. I don't know. Kansas City. No, it says he's buried in Kansas City. He was born in St. Joseph, Missouri. So Midwest guy. Yeah, and that's his catchphrase, and that's the way it was. This guy was everywhere. Like I said, he got started as a radio announcer. He gets a job offer from Edward Murrow at CBS News to join the Murrow Boys team of war correspondents. CBS offered Cronkite $125 per week with commercial fees amounting to $25 a week. And anyway, he tells the United Press International that he has gotten a job offer from CBS, UPI. Yeah, UPI, they don't match it, but they give him a little bit of a pay raise. This pisses off Moreau, and he held a grudge for years. And then finally, they get him to come over to CBS. He was an American reporter in World War II. He covered battles in North Africa and Europe. He was aboard the USS Texas, starting in Norfolk, Virginia, through her service off the coast of North Africa as part of Operation Torch. His big break came during the Kennedy assassination. So he was standing kind of by I guess it was a fax machine at the time. And he says, we need to break in. CBS needs to be first on this. The problem was it was going to take 20 minutes for the camera to heat up. I guess back then it had a little warming phase. So what they decided to do was have him voice record it, and then they would match the words to the broadcast, basically. So they broke in on As the World Turns, which was probably pissed a lot of people off back then.
Oh, that was big, because back then moms didn't work, very many of them.
Right. So they came across with a bulletin and Walter Cronkite stating what had happened, and then they broke in throughout the day as events unfolded, and then at 1 o'clock, almost 2 o'clock, I guess, he comes on and says, President has been pronounced dead at 1 o'clock.
Not to change this real quick, but
Yeah.
you stole mine and made me cry. I going mad late yesterday.
Yeah.
But have you seen the documentary where it shows the Dallas TV guys doing the live broadcast of the Kennedy deal? It's a great. It was on regular TV, but it's a great watch. You can find it on YouTube, but it's like KTVT in Dallas or KTXS, whichever one it is. But they had the live. I think it was CBS too. Showed the reporters live. Okay, here's they're turning on the Beltway here, and they're going here. Shows them from the Love Field when they land to all through to when he gets shot, and then they got people at Parkland Hospital. And boy, by the end of the deal, you can tell these guys are stressed and worried and they're upset, and they're smoking cigarettes live while they're doing all this shit. They got a pile of ashes on them because everybody smoked back then.
Right.
But that's really, if someone wants to get a true feel of what that day was like, that's a great show to watch.
Yeah. So, and another thing, Cronkite cries during his announcement that the president has died. Got a little bit teary eyed. So, he did a lot of work with covering the Vietnam War. He was actually he went on location during the Vietnam War in 1968. Yeah, he was the voice of America for a long, long time. Then he finally retired in 1980. And then that was it. He got CBS Evening News. Yeah, he was a voice of America. Everybody trusted journalists back then. And that's the way it was. So, Walter Cronkite.
In my lifetime, I was lucky enough to have to listen to him. Mm-hmm. I didn't appreciate it, probably. I think he's one of the last real journalists, but it makes you wonder how many of them were bought and paid for just like they are today. Was he giving opinions or giving the actual news,
So he had a little bit of a relationship with LBJ, and then he kind of speaks out against the Vietnam War. So I think he was an independent thinker a little bit, because LBJ said, if I've lost Cronkite, I've lost Middle America.
LBJ's a piece of crap.
So, all right, that's my guy that died today. Now, my guy that was born today was America's first multi-millionaire. And at the time of his death in at the time of his death in 1848,
God almighty.
he was America's richest man.
First millionaire in the early 1800s.
And he was America's most wealthy man at the time of his death in 1848.
God almighty. I've got to go way back. It's not an Astor.
Yeah, it is.
Is it Jacob Astor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know how he got his millions?
Well, I would say by marrying. That's the best way to get money, is to inherit it or to.
Nope. He was an immigrant from Germany. Started out selling.
Let me get you.
No.
Ask me a question.
This isn't the answer. He started out selling musical instruments.
I'm gonna guess that Astors. What were they famous for? He was in the banking business.
No.
Shipping. Ship captains were the wealthiest people in every place you go to back then.
What was he shipping?
Fuck, I don't know. He was a ship captain.
He wasn't a ship captain.
I mean, he has a shipping magnet.
Think Astoria.
Probably
Think Astoria, which is named from John Astor.
I did not know that, and I've been there many times.
It is.
I guess lumber then, if he's in Oregon.
Opium.
To China.
So
he was a drug smuggler.
he was a drug smuggler.
Well,
You
good
know
for
who
him.
else was a drug smuggler?
Well, yeah, there's a shitload of them. Joe Kennedy.
FDR's dad was a drug smuggler. Warren Delano.
He was too.
He was too. Yeah.
What was he bringing in? Opium also?
I think it was all opium back then. So
That was today's meth, I guess.
now, fur trading was also a big deal back then. So he created fur trading posts, but
That's crazy that Astoria, Oregon is named after Jacob Astor. I did not know that.
along with, let me get down here and I can tell you what else is named after him.
But back then, there were guys making bukus of money that was loading up lumber and taking it to the no, I lied to you. They were taking lumber from the East Coast and they were taking it to San Francisco so they could do it for the gold miners in that was quicker for them to do that.
Right.
They would take supplies from Boston all the way around. I don't think that the canal wasn't open, so they were having to go all the way around the south end of Tierra del Fuego and come all the way up, and they can make more money doing that than to get lumber to San Francisco to build it and then all them gold mining towns.
Right.
So that surprises me because there's so much lumber on the West Coast.
So Astoria in Queens is named after Astor. Astor Place in Manhattan was named after Astor. Astoria was named after Astor. It was the first United States fort on the Pacific Ocean. There is Astor Park in Green Bay, Wisconsin, was named after Astor. And the Associated Football Club FC Astoria Waldorf was formed in Astor's birthplace in Germany, and then they added Astoria to its name.
Could you imagine bringing anything down that Columbia River in them canoes?
Right.
That's a broad, fast river.
Do you know his great grandson died on the Titanic?
Yes,
Astor,
because he was for breaking up the Federal Reserve.
allegedly.
Well, every one of them that was against it died on it. So were the Strauss brothers.
Yeah. So
Which is a good read for anybody if you want to check out something. Check out the Strauss brothers.
basically, at the time of the American Revolution, the only people that could trade with China was England. Was the crown.
Why couldn't they trade with the colonies?
What do you mean?
Well, you said the only people at that time that could trade with China was the crown.
Yeah, but America, that would all go back. If you did it in America before the Revolution, it would all go back to the crown. After the American Revolution,
Okay, I got you. After we've separated from the crown.
So there was no more monopoly on
Opium.
goods going into China, fur and all that stuff, and opium. So John Astor sees a hole in the supply chain and an opportunity to make millions. So he begins, basically he would offset his expenses by, he would ship fur and tea he would import fur and tea, and then he would use that money to buy the opium that would then go back into China.
I think you have that backwards.
Backwards?
He was importing the tea,
Yes.
selling fur,
Yes.
and then bringing the fur money back with opium with the tea.
And then they do a little flip flop.
Yes.
So even though opium was technically illegal in China, a lot of bribery went on. They would take.
Was opium illegal in America at that time?
Oh, I'm sure. I don't
know. Why would
that.
it be though?
Right. I can't tell you that. And I don't think it was a big deal here. For whatever reason, China really liked their opium. So they would take big ships over to China filled with opium, and then before they got to port, they would offload that into smaller vessels, and then they would just.
Well, I'm assuming if they were doing that, it was illegal in the U.S. at the time.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me see here what else it says. It gave me a stat on how many people in China did opium. 10% of China's population smoked opium. So, and then 1890s, it kind of goes by the wayside. They make it illegal. But yeah, smugglers like Astor's fed that demand without taking too much on risk. American smugglers overlooked it. Anyway. Oh, yeah, here it is. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was also a famous smuggler. He made millions.
It's interesting. I did not know that about either one of them.
Everybody wants to think that these guys were just this squeaky clean image.
No, but there's nobody that's accumulated vast wealth that's got a lot of squeaky clean stuff, I don't think. I think even today, I'm not saying that there's not some good people out there that haven't accumulated wealth, but a lot of them have done it illegal.
Okay, can you guess, before we get off of here, can you guess what his net worth was at the time of his death?
Jacob, what year did he die?
1848.
$72 million.
20 to 30 million.
Okay.
Which
is a ton of money.
Which is equivalent to 598 billion, from 600 billion to 900 billion, depending on.
So he would be the wealthiest person in the world if he was alive today with that kind of wealth.
Probably. It's about 1% of the estimated U.S. GDP at the time he had. By comparison, the fortune of Jeff Bezos was worth 200 billion at the time.
Do you know that
during 2020, whenever this stat was taken?
His wife or his mother, one of the two. No, it would have been his his daughter would have been the daughter or granddaughter, maybe his granddaughter. Anyway, she was the socialite of New York City.
Oh, really?
And she kind of controlled all of that. Like, if Miss Astor come to your place, you were considered fancy and taken in. Like, she was the Newport, Rhode Island person.
Right.
That's where they went for their vacations. They didn't go to Cape May, or they didn't go to the Thousand Islands. They had the real money.
Right.
Before the Hamptons were here, everybody went to Newport, Rhode Island. They had big money. But she was she was kind of a bitch. If you watch The Gilded Age, which is a great show, it's on Prime, I believe it's season 3. If you watch, there's a lot of history on there, and a lot of it's based on her. And all them society ladies wanted to be accepted by her, because see, all the new money came in. That's what that show's based loosely on the Vanderbilts, I think, because the Vanderbilt were new money, and the old money didn't like that.
Right.
And she was old money, and she looked down on everybody.
Old money from opium.
Yep.
Astor bequeathed, I think that's the right word. He left $400K to build the Astor Library for the New York Public, which later consolidated other libraries to form the New York Public Library. He left $50K to a poorhouse and orphanage in his German hometown, Waldorf. And he left the bulk of his fortune to his second son, William, because his eldest son, John Jr., was sickly and mentally unstable. Astor left enough money to care for John Jr. for the rest of his life, and then William continued to build onto the family fortune. His ancestors were John Jacob Astor III, John Jacob Astor IV, which is the one that died on the Titanic, and I believe the fourth is the one that built the Waldorf Astoria.
And the guy, that boat castle that we went to,
I believe so.
he was the general manager.
Right.
The boatman, he was the general manager of that. So that's crazy how that all went together.
All ties in together.
What happened to the Astor money now, I wonder?
I bet
because that's a family you don't. There's no heirs that you know of. I'm sure there's heirs to them. We just don't know who they are. Like the Vanderbilt heir is the gay dude on CNN. I can't think of his name. Gloria Vanderbilt's son.
John Jacob Astor VI. He died in 1992. So it would be.
I changed my name to John Jacob Astor VII.
It would be the 6th. It would be his kids that, right? Wouldn't it be him? Under the terms of Colonel Astor's will, I don't know. I don't know what's happened to the Astor line. Though his son Astor was the grandfather of 2 boys.
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really say. It doesn't. I don't know what's happened to it. There's nobody that I'm reading about that has really done anything since like the 4th. So anyway, that's all I got. That's July 17th. We hope everybody has a great day. We love you. Goodbye. Watch for deer.